Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to welcome all the stakeholders to this fourth edition of our webinar on export business.
Promoting non-oil export, we have realized that is the way to go. If we must get ourselves, or as a country, out of where we are and where we need to be, we must be able to export. But then, the program tries to draw attention to the need to export, to promote export, non-oil export. But for us government agencies, that's what we're set out to do. But then there are challenges. Because if there were no challenges, we will not receive the complaints we receive. So as an economic regulator of the port, and under the current leadership of Barrister Pius Akuta, who strongly believes, very result-oriented, that those bottlenecks must be taken off. We must collaborate where we need to collaborate. We must be intentional about taking off those challenges exporters encounter. And that's why we have put certain things in place, which was what we shared here today. One was which, of course, automation of our processes and ensure that all economic operators at the port also do same.
Let the federal government, which is vested with the control of solid minerals, manage that industry very well and check the interference of the subnational, the state governments. Because definitely we need a lot of foreign direct investment to be able to develop that sector. We need a lot of technology to develop that sector. And for us to be able to do that, we must make sure that we create an enabling environment with stability in terms of your licensing regime, with so many, because they will want, the foreign investors, they are well versed in that industry, but they know what a particular industry, what conditions they must fulfill for them to be able to come to Nigeria.
All we're trying to do is to support the private sector to ensuring that we move the economy forward. As we can all see, the current economic situation that Nigeria is facing, we need to transition from a predominantly consumption-based economy to one that is focused on production. We need to prioritize value addition and ensure that we maximize utilization of the abundant natural resources that we have across the country. So I think currently Mr. President is doing all he can to provide the conducive environment, attract foreign direct investment, support the businesses to ensure that we improve our GDP and the economy as a whole.
In starting export, what I would strongly emphasize, which has been a challenge for a number of businesses coming in, is the issue of readiness. The mortality rate of export in Nigeria is high. Currently, we have less than 1,500 exporters. Even though we have thousands of businesses registering with Nigeria Promotion Council every year, but not many businesses are able to start, and not many people that have been able to start the business are able to continue. And the issue is actually challenge of readiness. A number of individuals and businesses come in treat export like I'm picking up product from Kano and I need to sell it in Lagos. But the difference now is the fact that I'm going to crossing border. Because I'm going to be crossing border, international border this time around, it's going to add additional level of complexity that anyone coming into this space needs to be aware of. So I would like to define export readiness as a multifaceted concept that involves the ability of a business to successfully enter the export market, sustainably compete in the market, and significantly grow its market share until it becomes established in the market.
When you talk about machines, you talk about Germany. When you talk about finance, maybe you talk about Switzerland. When you talk about manufacturing, you talk about China. So I actually believe that every country actually needs to actually have a singular purpose. And from that singular purpose, you can actually design several things from there. So I looked at Nigeria and Africa. I was like, okay, what advantage do we hold that we can actually compete with every other part of the world? And that connects to agriculture.
People say when a problem is well defined, it is half solved. And when you're taking a long journey, it starts from a stride. So when you see stakeholders speaking passionately, as we have seen today, you know that we are in for something as a country. Everybody across, even the private sector, which is where we sit, the operators, even the government, we have all seen it that we need to collaborate and come together and find solutions to the economic growth and development of Nigeria.
Wow, in the next 5 years, we actually see more food and agricultural commodities being cultivated. We see more and more people actually being involved in agriculture, which means people that have farmlands lying fallow in their villages and not knowing what to do with it will probably be cultivating food and agricultural commodities on the Ijebu market. There are several Nigerians abroad which in the next 3 to 5 years, based on what the Ijebu market will be doing, will start having their own food brands cultivated in Nigeria and Africa and exported to the international markets.
We are encouraging new entrants, existing exporters, agricultural practitioners, as well as those who have been doing the business that is related to mining and metal, both large and small scale, to actually go into export. And the reason behind it is that there is moral obligation for doing it. We need to actually get our market back to its feet. And how we can do that is to export more than what we import. And that is why Providus Bank is quite active in doing this on a yearly basis. This is our 4th edition, and I can assure you we will get better in our 5th edition. And what we are trying to do is not just to assemble the agencies, but to assemble the practitioners for them to hear their views on how to make the market better. So essentially, we are positioned to take on the market and also lead the pack in the market around how non-oil export is financed, is supported, and is built in our market.
On behalf of my managing director, Walter Akpani, and the entire management of the bank, thank you. And as you go, we pray the Lord will keep you and you get back to your destination safely. Thank you so much. Thank you.